That was 3. We did turtling, like this, that was 4. So 5 is a combination of all the movements. So the arms are dangling, sitting as tall as you can from your starting position, and you feel bring a little contraction to your pelvic floor. I'll remind you about that. That's a special yogic energy configuration where we just bring a little bit of a contraction, kind of like the Kegel, and we just hold that almost all the time while we're practicing. It keeps like a focus of awareness on breathing to that spot. As you breathe in, as you inhale, you can inhale all the way down to that contraction. And as you exhale, you can feel as though your exhalation is beginning where you feel that contraction in the pelvic floor and going upwards through your torso. Now holding that gently, and if you forget that you're doing that, you let it go, then later you just come back to it as you are reminded to. And so you can hold that gently, and at the same moment, you can turn the tip of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, gently inside your mouth without undue effort. If it feels like it's too much effort, then you just leave it out. But if it's possible, you can keep those 2 energy configurations. They're called yogic locks because they seal the energy, they direct the energy. And here, with the contraction in the pelvic floor, and also with the tongue turned up in the mouth, it creates like 2 points of focus, and you can breathe along that axis between those 2 points along your spine. And now we'll continue to hold those 2 things as long as you're not exceeding your capacity, and move into the 5th exercise for the head and the neck. So when you come upon your next exhalation, let your chin descend towards your chest, roll your spine in, and then as you begin to inhale, sweep your chin up towards your right shoulder and over towards the right. Keep going up towards the ceiling on the right, and then crossing over the midline as you exhale. Take your chin down towards your left shoulder and let it make a big arc and sweep across your chest as you round your shoulders in, your spine in. Your inhalation is along the right half of the circle within your capacity. Your exhalation is from the ceiling down, the left-hand side of the circle, and you continue as you cross the midline of your chest. Your inhalation is opening you up, taking you up in a big sweeping circle. Your exhalation is taking you down and folding you in. And whenever you're ready, when you reach the midline, reverse the direction so that you're going the opposite way now. Inhaling up the left-hand side of the circle, crossing over, exhaling down the right-hand side of the circle. And not being too particular about what your head and your arms and your fingers and your spine are doing, but letting the breath make these big circles and just exploring. You can feel how your spine is getting folded and rotated, and how your feet and your hips, everything are supporting your movements. There's a lot of movement here. And no one would ever know that you were holding a small contraction in your pelvic floor and that the tip of your tongue was lightly resting on the roof of your mouth as you did these movements. Now, as you finish your next exhalation and you're in a rounded over position, just let yourself stay there for a moment and let the face relax. Soften the back of your neck. Let your shoulder blades feel like they're getting some expansion across your back. And then you can bring your hands to your knees and take a full inhalation to bring yourself back up to front and center. And now we'll continue with some of the joints and glands exercises for the shoulders. So let your arms dangle and make some little movements at the shoulder joints with the shoulders. making circles, and then gradually you can explore the movement within your capacity. Maybe you take the shoulder blades a little more onto the back. Maybe you round the shoulder blades forward, up towards the ears, and down the back. You let your hands and your arms stay relaxed and let them just move however they will as you move your shoulders. And then you want to reverse that movement, the direction, whichever way you were going, just reverse that direction. Good. And when you've done that as much as you like, just let the arms dangle, maybe give a little shimmy side to side with your head and your neck. And you can place your hands back on your knees here. Sit tall. Let the breath flow in the nostrils. Soften. Soften the effort. Now you may have forgotten about the contraction in the pelvic floor, and you may have forgotten about the position of the tongue in the mouth. You may or may have not have. And it's your choice whether to bring a little awareness to these two locks, the root lock at the pelvic floor and the tongue lock in the mouth. Very subtle, no one knows you're doing them. And you can continue to hold those through the next series of exercises we do here. So we'll continue with the hands and the arms, let them dangle. Bring your awareness into your fingertips. And for a moment, feel as though you can breathe in and out through your fingertips. Really bring your full awareness to your fingertips by locating the breath there. And now energetically wiggle the fingers, the hands, start to make some circles around the wrists with the hands. These circling movements gradually involve more and more of the arm till finally you are making some arm swings coming out in front, and then shoulder blades onto the back, down the back, coming out in front. You can even lean forward a little, use your feet to keep you from falling out of the chair, almost like you're diving. And both arms might go up towards the ceiling, or maybe one arm goes up. You're drawing your shoulder blades down your back just like you were at the rodeo and you were standing next to the fence rail and taking your shoulder blades over the top of the rail there and just opening up across your pectoral region, across the chest by the collarbone area. So you can try that again. Come forward, and then just a little slower as you open and you come down. Take those shoulder blades onto the back, like you're touching the shoulder blades together back there. You can kind of try each one a little bit. Really feel that opening across your chest. Breathe with the yogic breath. And exhale and just release everything. Great. So when we do that movement, like we're standing next to the fence rail and putting the shoulder blades over there, if you can also imagine like someone were standing behind you and they put their hand like right in the middle of your chest, in the back, between your shoulder blades, and they were kind of helping you to relax and really like lift the heart region. This is really great, just to open the ribs, especially if you're breathing fully. This actually, the vest pockets where you could stick your fingers in your vest pockets if you were wearing a vest. Well, stick your fingers between your ribs, like find the edge of your rib cage here, and just feel the bones of the ribs, and then close your eyes and breathe and feel the movement of your ribs. See if there is movement there. Usually you'll feel the ribs expanding a bit as you inhale. and relaxing. That's great. So this is like a way to localize your awareness to where even if you take your hands away, you still can feel this part of your body. When you inhale, you really want to focus your breath in the lower part of the lung rather than the chest breathing. Yeah. So, okay, super. We've gotten into our hands, our arms, our head, our neck. Make sure there's no tension anywhere. And let's make some big movements with our spine, like we do sometimes, like a churning movement. Again, you can bring your heart forward over your knees and then tuck it back towards your chair. Do it 3 or 4 times in one direction, reverse the direction. Again, it's a bit like the old-fashioned change purses where you could turn them inside out, and you're doing that with your front and back sides of the body here. Okay, good. It's getting down to your feet and into your hips too, when you do these movements. So, very good. All right, nice. Can we do the same thing for a moment with our faces? Like if we open our mouth and run the lips over the teeth, opening the jaw. That's very good. And sometimes, like last week, we did a bit of massage. Here, let's just take your fingers and just in front of your ear canals, you can, as you open your jaw, you can really feel the jaw joint. So now do that same movement you just did, but really feel. And you can see that there's an independence of the movement of your lips and your cheek muscles and your jaw. So move your jaw a little bit. And that big muscle that runs just in front of your ears, just massage it a bit. Sometimes we take our fingers like the smiling muscles and move across that vertical band of muscle. There. It's where your parotid gland is, your saliva gland. So invariably, I produce extra saliva when I do these things. It's just like touching that, it's relaxing it. Salivation is a sign of relaxation. You think of your dogs and your cats. And when they're super relaxed, they're like, oh boy, pretty, drippy there. So, all right, great. I'm feeling really like this part of my body is really quite energetic. Things are flowing pretty good. So let's work into the lower legs. So again, sitting tall. Let's bring the awareness into the right leg and lift it. And you can just hold it with a hand like this or with 2 hands. I like to actually bring it even as close to my abdomen as possible while I do the foot swirls. So it's a bit like the jackknife position when you do that in the pool, and go the other way with the foot, and then point the toes and make some circles from the toe to the knee a few times. Good. Okay, and then we do this bicycling. So as you come up, you bring it in to your abdomen. So it's bringing that pressure to your ascending colon. Your ascending colon is on the right side of your body there. So you're massaging that. Good bowel health. You can stop whenever you need to. Rest. And then we take it to the side. And just to feel into that hip joint within your capacity. There's a lot of possibilities you can help, your foot, if it's accessible. Reverse that direction. And then straight back. And again, your hand can help to compress that knee. Good. Okay. And then extend the leg. Either rest it on the heel for a moment or keep it suspended really energetically, and then we accelerate with the foot and the ankle in flexing and extending the ankle joint a few times. Then make a fist with your toes. Really squeeze a little more, and then spread the toes. Now, while you're doing these movements, can you keep that little contraction at your pelvic floor and your tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. It's a lot to keep going. Okay, and then turn the sole of the foot towards this wall and then towards the Christmas tree there a few times, just to feel that movement all the way up the limb. Good. All right. We finished by putting the big toe down, keeping the heel up, mindful of the chair leg or your wheelchair, and you just relish the speed of thought to bring the heel back in a quickness that is timeless. It reveals that here we are with this body that we've been living with for however many years, and still the nerve impulse is as fresh as ever. It's amazing, like just boom, it's like ageless. Those nerves, that ability to feel. So marvelous experience. Okay, so as much as that as you like, and just finish with a little pat down from the knee to the hip. Maybe reach under and get a little into the hamstring area as well. We do the massage from the distal or the distant parts of the body towards the proximal or close parts of the body. That means we always do the massage movements. We massage, but we deliberately go from, like, for example, the knee towards the hip, just to encourage the lymph circulation to go towards the heart. Okay? And this, of course, is great to do as part of your daily practice in your own room, to lay on your bed and put your feet up. You know, like lay on your bed and either put a pillow under your lower legs or crank yourself around so you can put your feet up the wall. And, very good to just encourage that drainage of your legs. So, okay, sit tall once again. Bring the awareness to your breath. Notice whether you're holding the two locks, the energy locks, the one at the pelvic floor and the one in the mouth, and either refresh your sensation of those or continue with whatever practice you adopted for today. Keep breathing. Feel that yogic breath. Let the inhalations really relax your abdomen. And the exhalations to further relax the effort. And notice the difference between how your right leg feels and your left leg. And now prepare to exercise the left leg by bringing your awareness into your left leg. And when you're ready, we'll raise that left leg, maybe clasp your hands a different way. If you clasp them with the left first finger on top, change that. And then make some circles with the foot at the ankle a few times.